Okay, my name is Ariel. Thanks for tuning into 40 Acres News Media. I'm here with Brotha Shawt.
That's right.
Did I say it properly?
You got it.
I'm getting it though,
You're
right?
getting there.
Okay, why don't you say it then?
Brotha Shawt. You know you say it. My name, Brotha Shawt.
Brotha Shawt. Okay,
Shawt.
I got it now?
Yeah, you got it.
Okay,
Perfect.
okay, good. Okay, so Brotha Shawt is known for his revolutionary type rap lyrics, but most recently he's been in the news because he was part of the Dallas 9. As you know, there's been a lot of political unrest here in Dallas.
That's right.
With the shooting of Brotha Shawt, who is from St. Lucia.
Mm-hmm.
He was living in an apartment in Dallas. Police officer that lived in the same apartment complex entered his apartment thinking that it was hers, according to the affidavit. Yes, according to the affidavit, that is what she's going with. But there's so many holes in the story in terms of what has been reported and just what a lot of us have been able to put together on our own through social media. Maybe pictures that we've seen, and I would say the majority of people that I've spoken to do not believe that it was an innocent mistake.
Right.
Some are even suggesting that maybe they were in a personal, physical type of relationship that went sour. So we want answers, and that's part of the reason why he showed up for the protests that took place in Arlington. And he's going to tell us what happened on that day.
So what happened on September 16th, the day we decided to take part in the protest. You know, I was invited out by Lil Daryl Shakur 6, you know. I don't usually protest, but you know what else to do. So, you know, I decided to, let go of my ego, put forth my energy to participate, spread awareness for Brotha Shawt.
So let me ask you a question. You just said that you don't usually protest.
That's right.
What was it about this situation, the death of Brotha Shawt, that made you say, hey man, let me put myself aside and put this man in front of me, so, because this could be me one day?
That's right.
So what made you do that?
Well, that, the thought definitely that it could be me, but also that this particular case, this case will set a precedent, whichever outcome comes out. If she gets off, then it'll set a precedent to where these cops will feel like they can come in our home and possibly kill us from my perspective. And but if she gets charged for capital murder, then I feel like police will start being charged for their crimes against their violent crimes against black people. So I think this case in particular, every black person needs support to support it. Because not just in Dallas or in St. Lucia, but across the world, we should support the case.
Yes, and definitely in St. Lucia, they are keeping Brotha Shawt's memory alive, and you've probably seen his mother in the news demanding justice and also that the truth be told.
That's right.
She actually referred to Amber Geiger as being the devil.
Mm-hmm.
So, and a lot of people who have been watching and seeing what's happening in the news in terms of what's been reported to us and how this case got shuffled from the chief of police over to the Texas Rangers. I don't really know who they are, but I intend to go down there to the museum one day and bring the information back to y'all. And then see if I can find a spokesperson for the Texas Rangers to help me to understand, as far as I know, it's a show. So, but being serious, why don't you tell us, again, going back to the protest, how you all found yourself surrounded by a bunch of police officers after you were protesting peacefully. I mean, nobody was fighting, nobody was attacking anybody, nobody was yelling obscenities. So how did it go from that to this, which is very unreal?
Well, actually, the police, it was a heavy police presence following us the entire time, during our entire protest. But at the point where they decided to arrest us and neutralize our protest, it was obviously like a even denser police presence. You know what I'm saying? So the police presence was there the whole time. You know, but as far as them deciding when they were going to arrest us, it was. So initially it was mainly police on their bikes. You know what I'm saying? And then, but later on, you started seeing different uniforms and then pulling up in different vehicles. So we could have probably foreseen that they were going to try to get us.
Okay.
Now looking back on it, you know what I'm saying?
Okay. All right. So did they handle you roughly?
Oh, of course. I still got a scratch, you know what I'm saying, on my arm.
What's your scratch?
Finally healing. You know what I'm saying? I got that little souvenir, you know, I healed a little bit. But, you know what I'm saying, I got that up in there.
Let me see your scratch. I'm actually going to take a picture of it.
I should have took one.
So that I can, I guess it's probably in the healing process right now. So I can display it.
Got me a little police brutality souvenir. You know what I'm saying? A little relic.
If you want to call it that.
Right.
You know, but he was saying or explaining to me earlier that at some point, one of the police officers that was holding him down said that he was resisting arrest.
Right.
And you know, resisting arrest is a very serious charge, but he says he was not. And what happened after he said that?
Oh yeah, he pulled his taser. I was like, hey, stop resisting or I'm going to shoot you. You know what I'm saying? Or I'm going to tase you. Yeah, and it took another officer, one of his comrades, to tell him that I wasn't resisting, as he had my arm and he seen my other arm was pinned down. And so, you know, they also jammed their knee in our legs. And, you know, this was rough as far as, you know, putting the handcuffs on us. You know how they do it, you know what I'm saying? Putting the handcuffs on us when they pulled us up, pulling our arms up a little bit, you know what I'm saying?
Do you have any marks on your wrist from the handcuffs? Any
Sure.
nicks or anything?
I guess not.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so
Got me looking.
while you were being held down, you told me that there were some people who were tailgaters at the game that were actually supporting you, you know, maybe throwing their fists in the air and saying, all right, yeah, protest, protest. So what were they doing while all of this was going down?
Mainly, you talking about the arrest?
The people that were part of the tailgating parties, what were they doing? Were they yelling at the police? Were they telling them to stop? What did you hear?
Well, I didn't hear anything really. I was saying because I was busy getting my face put in the concrete. But, you know what I'm saying, what I did notice was that they were recording on their phones, you know, so like everybody does. Nobody finna go out there. For the most part, people are not finna go out there, put their life on the line, put themselves on the line for you, but everybody pulls their phone out, you know. Yeah, but before that, you know what I'm saying, some of the tailgaters, they were supporting us, but we also were met with conflict by some of the tailgaters. Some were yelling, fuck y'all, fuck y'all, fuck y'all, middle finger, acting like they were gonna fight us and shit, but the main people who was agitators seemed to be Hispanic people out in the crowd, in the tailgating.
Are you serious?
I'm dead ass.
Okay, and I am actually shocked that that would be the case. I'm not going to say that I don't believe it, you know, because I believe my brother that I'm talking to, but I'm absolutely shocked. But, you know, what I want viewers to understand, too, is that we have two sets of Hispanics here and everywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
We have Hispanics that have their papers, and we have, you know, some of those that have their papers also have family members that have been here for many years who don't, at this point, kind of sort of consider themselves to be Mexican, or you can't even detect an accent sometimes. And then you have the Mexican who is struggling to, I guess, for equal rights, you know. But like I said, if they were at the Cowboys game, if they were there in Arlington for the game, then I would imagine these are some Mexicans that have been here for some years. But what did they tell you about your arrest once you got to the jail or the holding cell?
Well, once we finally got to the jail, that's when they finally told us we was under arrest, I guess. But anyways, they just read us our charges, told us what we was finna be charged with. Mine was resisting arrest and obstruction of a highway or passageway. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to talk to the motherfucker that told me that I told him that I wasn't resisting, but he's still gonna tell me I was resisting and write it on my paper. And I'm just saying, his name was Officer Abernathy, and this nigga's gonna tell me that I told him you weren't resisting, but my Sergeant Haddish said you were resisting, so I'm gonna put what I saw, but you're still getting charged with resisting arrest. I'm like, bitch, you just told me I wasn't resisting. You know I wasn't resisting, but you still gonna put it on the paper. So it was just stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? That didn't sit right with me. You know.
Okay, so now let me ask you a question. Some of the Dallas 9 actually hold jobs, right? So this little fracas that went down at the stadium, that could adversely affect their situation at a job or cause them to lose a job.
Yeah.
Do you know of any of the Dallas 9, outside of yourself, of course, who had problems once they returned to, you know, their normal life as they knew it before this incident?
Yeah, I know another brother. One of the other brothers had a employment situation. I don't know the full details, and I don't know the details about anybody else as far as employment or anything else goes. Like I stated, I only know personally, on a personal level, one of the brothers, you know what I'm saying? And that's the one I know who had some financial hardship after the situation.
Oh,
But
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
But I will post information about his situation, and if there's anything we can do to help at the end of this video. But I wanted to ask you as well, once you got locked up and put in the cell, you know, I'm pretty sure you were asking questions. Okay, well, you know, what's going on? You know, what are we in here for?
Right.
You know, and how long are we going to be here?
Right.
So what were they telling you?
Man, they were telling us, like, you know, we was kind of like breaking down, like, we know, like, they try to act like, you know, the community is not educated and we don't know what, you know, we don't know what we know. And so they just state, like, well, we're running down the procedure that they should be upholding. They're like mocking us, like, this is Arlington, this is not Dallas, we do what we want to do. You know what I'm saying? They say stuff like that, they mock us. That's why I felt like they noticed that we did have support on the outside, and they were just making fun of us, trying to keep us out the blue, out of being informed. And they told us, like, we were supposed to, well, that they don't have a judge in Arlington. That was the reason why we were supposed to be transferred to Tarrant County. And then they told us we were going to see the judge by 6 no later on Monday after we were transferred to Tarrant County. We didn't see the judge until the next morning, you know what I'm saying? So it was just a lot of psychological manipulation and stuff like that.
Okay, and how did you sleep while you were there? Did you sleep?
I eventually sleep, but I wasn't comfortable. You know, like, the conditions in jail is not for a human being, you know what I'm saying? Sleeping on, first wearing other people's underwear, used drawers and used clothes. And
I'm sorry. You have to explain this part to me about wearing other people's underwear. How does...
This is jail. You don't...
What happened to your underwear that you had on?
I had to give it into property. Yeah, I got my underwear when I got out of jail, when I was released.
Oh, okay, so they gave you some used underwear.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I think it was used.
They looked used.
Oh yeah, they looked used.
Okay.
Yeah, I know when I was in juvenile, it was the same thing. You know, I had some stuff happen when I was when I was a youth. I was a different person. You know what I'm saying? And we had to use underwear that had little stains in the motherfuckers. In Henry Wade. Henry, I think it's TDC.
Okay.
But yeah, Henry Wade Center. Yeah, that's the conditions in jail. And the toilets are disgusting. The toilet and the sink is connected to the same piece, whatever. It's the same machine. So yeah, so all of that, the water that you washing your face with and brushing your teeth with is toilet water. You know what I'm saying? So it's just being in jail and me being vegan. I only ate like an orange slice the whole time I was there. You dig? I ain't drinking no toilet water, but.
So with you being a vegan, again, I'm talking to my people who may not have family members who have ever been in jail. Maybe you yourself have not been in jail, but you know, you're talking to them, right? Okay, you want a sandwich? You know, maybe, maybe you know how it is. That's how they told you. You want a sandwich? You know, and you be like, what kind of sandwich you got? And then you might respond, well, I'm a vegan. You know, you have anything vegan? And they're like, oh, you're gonna have to wait till you get out for that. You know, so, you know, how did that conversation go? You know, when they came up with the food, here you go, here's your food. And you'd be like, I can't eat that.
Oh man, I didn't expect anything from them. I didn't expect any privilege or any different treatment, so I didn't even ask for any accommodations. I just, whatever they gave me and what wasn't something I didn't mess with, I just didn't mess with it. You know,
Right.
But I probably made it a point to give it to somebody else or something.
Right. Yeah. Okay, I understand. So, when you get the news that you're being released, how did that come? Did that come after the judge, you know, made a ruling about how you were going to be fined or what the bail was going to be, or, you know, did it just come by surprise? Did you go from the courthouse and then outside the courthouse and leave, or did you go from the courthouse back to jail? How did that go?
Yeah, no, we went. You know, the court was definitely in jail over a webcam. You know what I'm saying? So the judge was wherever she was at, and we had court over the internet, I guess, over Wi-Fi.
Which means really maybe she could have done this from her bed. Huh?
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Or her other room.
All right, from a webcam.
Exactly. So, and we went back to after we found out we were being charged when we finally got a bail, a bond.
But you know, I didn't know they had telecourt.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, because I know they have telemedicine, but it's telecourt.
That's exactly what it is.
Wow, okay. So again, you know, this is something I'm just learning, so I'm happy to educate you about it. There is such a thing as telecourt.
Yeah.
Okay, but yeah.
Right, so yeah, that was an experience, and we actually went back to the intake. We didn't go back to population, we went back to the intake portion before we go up. And so it was a surprise to me when we were finally released. I was expecting to get released anywhere from 8 to 12 hours after we seen the judge. You know what I'm saying? So I was expecting to still be in there, so our release was a surprise.
Okay, so after you saw the judge on the camera or whatever, how much longer did it take for you to get out?
It actually took about anywhere like 45 minutes.
Okay.
So they kind of rushed us out.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So let me ask you a question. How is it now for you? Your life, has it changed much by from being a member of the Dallas 9? You know, are you getting more calls, or are you getting more requests for your music, or to support you through some of the items that you sell to promote your music? What has changed?
Well, just the normal day to day. That's kind of changed. You know, just seeing people that look at me. We don't know. I just don't know, but because I am an artist, so I do music, and I don't know if they know me from that or if they know me from the Dallas 9 shit. And people have recognized me. And I'm not a proponent. I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm a private person, so it just kind of makes me anxious. But other than that, kind of my employment situation, that was kind of hindered due to missing so many days or being locked up so many days. What else? But other than that, people they supporting. IG been kind of, Instagram been kind of booming a little bit. Facebook, I was on BET or whatever. I thought that was cool.
BET,
yeah.
What is it? Digital media?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, yeah. I saw that y'all have about 30,000 views now. Yeah, that's good. But getting back to the whole meaning behind this and the whole reason. Let me ask you a question. I know there have to be some women watching this right now, and what would you have to say to them about how you felt about seeing some of the queens being taken down, or just even knowing that they were handled more than likely in the same manner that you work.
Right.
How does that make you feel?
You know, definitely. Once you're not in control of yourself and you can't do anything, it's like a very terrifying feeling. You know what I'm saying? Because not only do you want to fight for yourself and you can't, but you want to fight for this other person or these other people and you can't do anything. You know what I'm saying? So that's definitely frustrating and frightening feeling, especially as a man. You know what I'm saying? That's another dynamic to it, but. It definitely makes me want to speak to any woman listening that self-defense and self-preservation is very important in self-defense, even though you probably defending yourself from the police is an interesting situation, but you definitely be able to defend yourself from any predator, and so I get into self-defense.
Okay. So, you know, I just want to go on record as saying this, you know, in terms of being able to defend yourself and in terms of a predator type of situation, this whole situation that happened with y'all, it sounds like a predator type of situation that you were definitely targeted to be made an example of, as if the Monday following the death of Botham outside of the Dallas Police Department was not enough when the tear gas balls were shot at the crowd of men, women, and children and teenagers and such. So what we want to do is we want to get into some of your music and let people hear the artistic side of you. Also want to ask you, what other creative talents do you have? I know you said you do some videoing, and what else do you do?
You know, I'm an artist. You know, I'm a true artist. So I express myself through videography. I shoot a lot of music videos for people in the city. I shoot weddings, stuff like that. Photography, graphic design. You know, I do a lot of business cards, flyers, logos. So you know, people, y'all need that work. I'll let you play. What else? You know, I play instruments. I play various instruments. You know what I'm saying? I produce a lot of my beats. I actually made a lot of my videos. I did a lot of the editing behind the videos. You know what I'm saying? So if you see my logo in the video, the Duke Creator, that's my production company. If you see that logo on something, that was me.
Okay, good. What about your shirt? Did you do the artwork for your shirt?
Oh yeah, I actually did this one, this Black Power, Power, Power. That's for one of my songs, Black Power, one of my more popular songs. I got more shirts that I did. The Son of a Ruler, Afi Ashe, she did that, and this is the Son of the Ruler shirt.
Okay, so we're gonna have the young lady help us out and bring us the shirt, and we're gonna hold it up. Thank you. Hold it up real high in front of the camera to make sure you get the full image, not to cover your face, brother. But tell me about this image, because it looked like vampire teeth in there a little bit. Tell me about this image. What are you saying in this picture?
Definitely, I'm representing various aspects of African culture, from the locks, to the freeform locks, to the African painting on my face. You know, just representing the culture on various levels. And you know, I'm from the South, so we got the gold teeth in the mouth. You dig? So you know what I'm saying? There's different aspects of black culture. Okay,
and this is your logo on the back?
That's not my logo in particular, but you know what I'm saying, that's a design I put on the shirts for my website.
Okay. All right, and the website is Brotha, which is spelled B-R-O-T-H-A.
That's right.
Shawt, SHAWT.com, and I may have mispronounced it again that time, but I'm getting there. The next time we get together, I'll have it down perfectly. But I want to listen to some of your music, because I saw your video. I think I was watching Brotha Shawt one time, and then I saw the What Up Ankh video. But we're going to play a little bit of that music right now. This is on YouTube. And what's the YouTube channel?
Brotha Shawt.
I saw you got to type in, because when I typed it in, it came up right away.
The black man. And what you think this right here? This is the boy and this is the girl right here representing the black family. Now I'm gonna do it again. What this part represent? Black man. No, the woman now. See this part, the whole? Woman. The woman. What it represent? Woman. This part down here represent the what? Man. And this part right here represent what? The children. The man, the young boy and the young girl. Good job, y'all. All right, black power. Black power.
What what does it do? Who is your crew red or blue? What do you red, black, and green like my brothers do? Banners on the scene, hot in the motherfucker like some troops. Self-defense training, breaking down weapon systems. Got a brother feeling bulletproof, but I do not want problems. Rather solving calculations, algorithms, absolute. Black fist to the roof, black fist to your tooth. Black fist to anybody that don't wanna see this black fist. When you see a black fist saluting, then you lean with it, on rock with it. Knock the Trump supporter out they sock with it. If you melanated, then acknowledge it. If she melanated, then acknowledge it. What you know good, what you doing for the people? What up, up in your hood, what you doing for the people?
Where did you produce it? Where did you do the production, the sound, the music?
So I was in the shed. I was with my partner in the backyard in the shed. Little studio set up. Just made it right there.
Wow. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. All right. So, and when did you make this song?
I think it was like 2016.
Okay. Okay. So what's the concept behind the song?
It's like, what up, just like saying what up life, like in black culture, it's like African American culture, that's probably like a deaf culture, like we, a lot of stuff we do promotes death, but the honk is representative of representation of eternal life and life, being an ever-going thing. So yeah, so instead of saying like what's up dog, what's up my nigga, shit like that, we say what up,
So now you have out a new project, and would you tell me the name of the new project?
Well, the album is called Blood in My Eye. You know what I'm saying? We giving reference to the revolutionary George L. Jackson. He wrote a book called Blood in My Eye. I recommend everybody go out there and cop that, read that. You know what I'm saying?
And I have the second video queued up. Okay. And I thank God for my brother here because he's so wanted on this technology. I used to be up to a certain point. Okay, and this is called Son of a Ruler here.
Keep losing the morals. Do it for my E5 niggas and my niggas rockin' out horrors. Ooh, she say she like my aura. I done heard that before. She just caught up in the lower mud flop, that she be touch the floor. Bitch ain't told me I'm cool, cause son of a ruler, try my script for a ruler. For what the we gon' do you? Make them maneuvers, educated from the street, every stupid. Ooh, it's true, it's half factors. Make it get stupid, turning their back on the ones who improve.
Alright. Yeah, okay, both of these videos are on YouTube. Do you have any other videos on YouTube from the new project?
Yes.
Okay, so we want to thank everybody for tuning into 40 Acres News Media. You can find us on Facebook under the same name. Be sure to follow us on Facebook there. You may already be on our IGTV page or Instagram page under 40 Acres News Media. Also, please go to our YouTube channel, which is under a different name. It's under U for Umbrella, G for George, TKO, like Technical Knockout Nation. Okay? And you can find Brotha Shawt on Instagram under BROTHA SHAWT. That's on Instagram.
That's right.
On YouTube, just type in the same name with a space in between. On Facebook. Okay? So, we really need those likes. We like those likes. When you like something, you're actually promoting it amongst your friends and your family so that it can automatically be introduced to other people that are not connected to you in any type of way. Okay? Thank you very much. Peace.
Peace.